Making the Invisible Visible, Black Women 365 Days of the Year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped Black, British or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance and legacy. Let's begin.
So I am Dr. Yvon Guest, and I think I'm best known for being a therapist activist for the mixed race community. And this started because being a therapist, I had a break from therapy for 13 years. And when I came back after doing my PhD, all my clients were mixed race. So I thought, oh, this is interesting. Let's go and look at some training to help me, some supervision to help me, some learning materials, but there was nothing. So I had to take, it's interesting, the title of your project, I literally had to take a group that were invisible in the entire therapy world, the whole of the therapy world, all sections, and I have made us visible, and it's been a 9-year process. I think there's two really big things. One is a trip to the House of Lords in March, and that came about, I'm so excited to get the date wrong, that came about because I ran the first ever conference on the mixed race client in therapy last year in November, and because of that conference it got us an invitation to the House of Lords to talk about the mixed race experience in the UK. And the other big thing is the next Kaleidoscope conference, which is in November, on November the 20th, and I'm organising that as well. So I grew up in the Midlands, and I grew up in the care system, and then I moved to London when I was 18. And at that time, we were under the Thatcher government, so it was a very oppressive time for all intersections. We didn't call ourselves intersectional then, but she went for every intersection. I think of her as the most powerful Karen we've ever known, Margaret Thatcher, because she went for everyone, right? And I think landing in London then in 1980 was amazing. There was lots of rock against racism. We were protesting against Clause 28, which was aimed at gay people. There was just so much going on. The working class were under a lot of pressure from Margaret Thatcher. She really wanted to destroy them. She wanted to smash them out of existence. So there was a great collective fight at that time that you don't really see now. We were all in it then. And it was really interesting. I remember there was an organisation called Black Sisters. I think they're still going, because at that time, everyone was Black and everyone called themselves Black. It was a really different time. And I think it shaped me hugely, seeing that collective fight back, knowing that it can happen. For me, it's about the work I do. I don't put any writing out there. I don't do any podcasts. I don't do anything unless I've looked at it, what I call a 360 look. I go all the way around it. I look underneath it. I look above it. I fly around it like a drone. And then I say, I think I've understood this. Because what I really want to get at is nuance. I think that comes from being mixed, because I am a complex person, because I am mixed. And so I don't really like binary categories, certainly not around identity and definitely not around gender. So I think for me, it's about nuance. It's about always trying to find that nuance. I think this came up on Sunday. So I had my granddaughters with me on Sunday and we were hanging out, and we were talking about being mixed, and they were talking about how difficult it still is for them. One of them had been told that she wasn't allowed to have her name because it's a Black girl's name. One of them had been told she was white. And I just thought, oh God, where do we even begin? When we're now 3 generations in my family of having identity prescribed to us or ascribed to us by other people. But, you know, we did some art, which I think is a great way of processing. It's how I process. It's where I find my joy, my creativity. I talked to them about all the things that I do, which they know I do. And I actually got them to help me prepare for this interview. And they asked me these questions on Sunday, but it was a lovely moment because this was a great moment for us to explore these issues and for them to see that, well, actually, Nanny Yvonne, she's out there and she's really fighting for us and we're helping her. So it's a beautiful moment and it gave us all a lot of joy in that sadness. But it was a lovely moment. And yeah, that kind of thing really brings me joy.
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the Invisible Visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we will continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next story.